member of the NUJ. Yeah, so and I write for the Standard Gazette. Yeah. All right. So TK Dube is the son of the popular legend, reggae legend from South Africa, who was accidentally or unfortunately murdered in the 2007 in Johannesburg. Yeah. So tell us, how old were you when the incident of your father happened?
I was 21 at the time. I was 21. It's a
Oh,
long time ago. So
you were grown up, 21.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the news said that he went to drop two of his children. Your father had 7 children, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he went to drop two of his children to their grandmothers or so. On his way, then he was attacked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't to our grandmother's house, but I was being dropped off, and then everything happened.
Oh, were the children able to confront these perpetrators for the crime they committed? Because your father's death did not only affect his family, it affected those people who depended on your father's music. So did the court give the children opportunity to approach their father's perpetrator just to impact?
So, okay. So first it was me and Kuli in the car. I'm sure
Okay.
you know Kuli.
Oh.
And in terms of approaching the perpetrators, we just let the courts do their business
Okay.
on our behalf. So I think that was in 2009 when the guys were finally trial, and they all got life in prison.
Life in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us again. What was your reason for going after your father? The man was changing lives in South Africa. It was affecting people across the globe. And why would anybody target him at that time?
Yeah. No, look. I mean, I guess we can only stick to the truth that we know, and sort of debunk any theories around it, and as far as the court found, or as far as they told the court, it was just about his car, because he had just recently bought a very nice vehicle for himself, and that's the car we happened to be using on that day, so
a Chrysler. A Chrysler. The news said a Chrysler. Yeah, a new Chrysler.
Yeah, it was a Chrysler. Yeah, a Chrysler 300C. Yeah.
Wow. So tell us the impact your father had on you. Let's hear from the son of the man that, people are so fond of. Yeah.
Geez, look, to me, I think it's only later on in life when I grew up where I actually understood who my father was. But before that, in my young age, my father was just a father.
Okay.
He does music or whatever, but your mind doesn't really register. And when you hear things about him, or oh wow, back in my country, because I used to go to a school that had a lot of people from all over the world.
Yeah.
So I had Zambian friends and Malawian, wherever. I had friends from there because we're all in the same school. And they'll tell you, oh wow, your dad back in my country, he came, stadium was sold out, and you don't take it to head.
Yeah.
You don't really understand.
It's just your father you see every day.
Exactly. For me, he's just my dad. He's working. That's cool. Whatever he does, what he does. But as you grow up, obviously mentally as well, not just age, but as you grow up mentally and you wait and you start looking and say, wait a minute. So this guy, let me actually listen to this guy's music, because you hear the music all the time. It's there, but you don't actually listen to the message in the music,
Yeah.
And I think that's when I started personally picking up that, wait a minute, this guy, wow, the the stuff he's coming up with, the experiences he's sharing,
Yeah,
the knowledge that he's feeding to everyone. It's absolutely amazing.
it is.
Then only you get to see how big you are outside. But as just a father, a family man, a very strict guy, if I can say that. But yeah, man, he was just a great father, that just wanted the best for his kids, for people around him, supported everyone I can think of, using his craft, and just spreading the message. I think he fell in love with reggae a long while back.
Yeah.
Probably it was probably before I was even born. And then obviously they started, trying it out and seeing, oh, okay, wait, this actually works for me. I like this vibe. I like the message.
Yeah.
And he sort of switched in from his traditional Bakanga music,
Okay.
to reggae, because and one of the reasons for that was because, it speaks to the larger population of the world now.
Yeah.
When you're singing in Zulu, if you understand Zulu, yes, he had the message in there, but it's only to a subset of the world, and he wasn't focused on just speaking to a subset of the world. He wanted to reach the whole world,
Yeah, he did.
and
He did.
reggae was doing that, and switching from the Zulu language into English,
Yeah, he did.
also helped to make sure the message gets across as far and as wide as possible.
Yeah.
So,
So
but yeah, to me,
yeah, from what I understand
yeah,
from your father's history, he exploited his options. You see, yeah, he exploited his options. He had a kind of a different kind of music before he was able to understand what his fans wanted from him. That kind of transition, I don't think how do you think he had it back then? When you have to work twice as hard today. Today we have the social media that is promoting people's music right from their bedroom. Your father had to work through 2 times harder in order for his music to get across globe. How do you describe the difference today?
look, I don't even think 2 times harder actually even begins to describe the amount of work that had to go in, and obviously this is not just credited to him working. It took a lot of effort from other people that were surrounding him, that believed in what he was doing. And to be well known in one music type, in one genre,
Yeah.
when people love your music in that genre, they buy your music, they come to your concerts in that genre. Then you wake up tomorrow and say, guys, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I
I want to
found,
change it.
yeah, I'm changing it. So you can imagine the disappointment that the fans, the original fans, have in
Yeah.
how can you give us so many albums, in this particular style, and we love it,
Then
and
you
then
abandon us.
and then you just abandon us like that. You know, it must have been very difficult. But I
Heartbroken.
think
Yeah.
the greater challenge what that then arose from that is that, okay, so how do I just ignore that career that I've had all these years and start afresh, basically, in a country at the time where reggae music wasn't really that big. And I could even go to an extent of saying that the messages that the reggae music was sharing was almost seen as criminal, because of the apartheid system that was in the country at the time. I mean, he had a number of albums
Yeah,
banned.
he did. He did. Yes, he did. Because the political class thought he was a rebel. Yeah, because he was using his music to send message to the people. The political class were so afraid of his music that they were banning them as it was coming out. So that must
Exactly.
be that must be difficult at that time too. You know.
No, of course. I mean, you put so much work in your craft, and at the end of the day, it's seen as if you're trying to cause some political unrest.
Yes,
And that's a problem. And that's a problem.
it is.
It was seen as mobilizing the people, to turn against the government, which I don't particularly think that was the motive behind the music, but the music was there to inform people, to say this and this is happening. Keep your eyes open, keep your mind open.
And to give them hope.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Certainly.
it was the most important part of your father's music, giving hope, letting them know everything is okay. You cannot bring us down. You cannot defeat us. We are the people. But the government took it in a different angle because they didn't want anybody to challenge them. They said, yeah.
Yeah. No, of course. There's a theory of divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Which is what the apartheid regime really relied on. We were not together. We're not united. And when you start putting that in the music to say, guys, look, the only reason why this apartheid regime is actually defeating us is because we are divided. Let us unite. That unity is our strength. So that in its own, just getting the people to unite, was a big threat to the politicals of that time. So I can understand how they would have seen it as music that would disrupt their plans, if I could call it
that. Yeah, it was. According to history too, from what I learned about you, I'm bringing it down to TK Dube now. So let's tell the fans, who is TK Dube? Yeah, we want to know the TK Dube that people don't know. Who is TK Dube?
Look, TK Dube is me. No, so me, I obviously Lucky Dube's son, as everyone would know, but just outside of that, I'm an IT consultant,
Okay.
so I'm a really big IT guy. And I'm an MBA candidate. I'd say, look, education, I think, really defines TK, if I could say that, yeah, and just a musician, dabble and dabble, do some of my father's music, do some of my own music as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that it looks like, from what I read, I think you must have put that information out. From what I read, your father didn't support your music career from the early stage. It looks like because it looks like he was pushing you towards education. Say, son, you love music, but I need you to have a backup. What would you say to that?
Yeah.
How did you feel at that time?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, one of the biggest things, for my father was education, and the reason for that, I think, is because, he struggled to get his education, and he ended up in a situation where he had to do a lot of self-teaching, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think one of the things that, he said to me was, look, you can go ahead, do music. It's fine. I don't mind. But what you must do first is you need to make sure that you have an education. Music is not a guaranteed business. You sleep today, everybody loves you. You've got the biggest song, you've got the best song. Wow, awesome. Tomorrow, people don't like you.
They don't want anymore. They moved on.
They exactly. So for him, it was important that yes, he was able to make it work for him. He was able to make the music work for him, but he didn't want the same necessarily for his children to go through the struggles that he had to go through in order to make it, So he always said to us, look, music, certainly go ahead, I will support you, but make sure that you have an education over everything.
That's
so
good.
I think that's shaped me quite a lot, So,
So at the time he was depriving you, as a young child, you wouldn't understand his motive, his reason for trying to stop you from going into music. At that time, did you resent him for not allowing you to be in his craft?
No, so it's not. It wasn't a matter of not allowing me to be in that space or being in that craft, because I think it would have been impossible, because he's making music. You are here, you are there in the studio with him. When he's doing all nighters trying to make music, you are there. You go to his office where we're doing rehearsals. You are there, so you are part and parcel of this whole thing.
Other
You see it
process.
happening, you know what's happening, you know how to do it, and it wasn't for me, it wasn't like he was saying, don't do music. He said, go ahead, do music, but get a degree, get educated, make sure that you have a backup plan. If the music doesn't work for you, you
You
know
have
that
something
you're
to
not
fall
going
back on.
to, exactly, you're not going to go to bed hungry, you know. And I think what really helped me was the fact that, he didn't just say, no, don't do music and just dismiss it. It was, don't do music now,
Now,
do education because, and he would explain the reason behind why he was saying, don't do the music now. So,
yeah,
for that reason, the fact that he did explain why,
yeah.
it didn't make me resent him at all. I actually understood why he wants that to happen.
Eh,
And I mean, when you look at the music industry now, versus what it was back then, it's sort of played in one's favor. That there is an education that I have, and I've got a career as well that I can follow through on.
Yeah, that is very good. I read again that you wrote a song, a lyrics, frankly speaking, that your father was impressed about, that you sang the song with him. What song was that? Tell us about that. Your first ever lyrics that your father was impressed about.
So I don't know where you're getting your information from, but whoever your sources, I'm worried what else you know.
Yeah, but because I have, yeah. I have to know about who TK is because the name keeps coming up. Yes.
Yeah. No, so look, I won't tell you the song, but what happened was I've got books. Just growing up, obviously in a musical family. Growing up, I used to write a lot of lyrics.
Okay.
And I'll just write about whatever, And this one day, he actually just walked into my room and he saw my book laying on the table. And it's like, he comes to me, he's like, yeah, let's see what you're writing. He pulls my book and starts flipping through. It's like, nah, no, no. Then he reads, there's just one verse. I had a whole song in there. And he just took one verse. He read it and it's like, oh, okay, no, this is, wow, okay. This is nice. This is the type of stuff that you should write, not this other nonsense that you are
You'll be right.
that you are writing. Yeah. So so he kind of liked that, and we went to the studio and just played around a bit on some stuff, and I think the same is actually the same for Nkuli as well, the same for Bongi as well. He would read through some of our stuff and
show interest.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. That brings me down to let us know, Lucky Dube and the family. How was your father with the family? Because we have a version of Lucky Dube that we know right around the world. Yeah, Lucky Dube, the reggae musician, the man that is leading a revolution now. This is the man that everybody knows. So now, what is your version of Lucky Dube?
Geez, a very chilled guy, full of jokes the whole time. I think you could never sit with him and not laugh. He was
Really?
very full of jokes, very entertaining guy. But I think, for him, where there was love shown, where there was respect shown, he will give that to you 100 times. You know what I mean?
That's
So
good.
as a family man, he was awesome. I don't think I could have ever wished for a better father. to be honest, geez, what a guy. I don't even know how to put it in words, and but I think with him being gone now, those are the types of things that you miss, the nights when
something you didn't realize back then. Yeah, you're not really little things.
You took it for granted at the time because okay, I mean, he's here, whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even want to see him. You're just like,
It's
no, I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's disturbing me. That sort of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, that's just family,
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because he's there, but once he left, you sort of go back on those memories to say, wow, I mean, we used to play pool, snooker, the whole night, and going to ride horses, just going for a drive, going to town, now all those things, those are the memories that you
want to relive
with you.
Yeah, you want to relive them. That is very good. Yeah, I also understand that your father loved movies. Yeah,
a lot of movies.
So Lucky Dube wasn't just into music. He was a movie fanatic. Let me put it that way.
Certainly.
What were his favorite movies?
Oh, he liked horror movies. He liked thrillers.
Okay.
In fact, I can just say he liked everything. I think being an artistic person, you sort of get to appreciate little elements of
the work of
everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, in terms of actors, was watching things like Eddie Murphy, Chris Tucker, and Jason Statham, a whole lot of, so you can just already see the mix in those actors. You've got a thriller and action guy versus a whole comedy guy. There's a lot.
He was a fan of these people, and I'm sure they were his fans as well, crazy about him. Yeah, that's how the word works. Yeah,
exactly. But a very big movie fanatic.
Okay, what you're talking about. Let me take you a little back to that movie, music you were talking about, your first song. So you rapped to that song, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Look, it's and I know a lot of people that really appreciate that I am able to actually rap on a reggae, because that brings out a lot more of my personality. Yes, sure, we can do the singing as well. That's fine. But my dad was the one that was really known for that singing. And just bringing in a different youthful element to it, if I could call it. Something that I also resonate with strongly. So growing up, even though my dad at times didn't like it, for a while he didn't like it, that I was listening to people like Tupac,
Yeah.
And I grew up listening to Tupac, and for him, he was always like, but TK, how are you able to listen to this guy who is swearing in his song
all the time,
day in, day out, and he's swearing? And I said, okay, cool, I understand. Yes, he is swearing. Obviously he didn't want us to repeat those words.
Yeah.
So, and as a parent, it's concerning that your child is listening to this type of music.
It is.
Like
it is.
But until one day, I actually said, this was when obviously I was a bit wiser. I said, Dad, look, I understand you don't necessarily like the music because firstly, it's just swearing, a lot of swearing.
Yeah.
But just one day, take one day out of your life, listen to what he is saying. Aside from the swearing.
Just to have the idea.
You'll come to realize.
Just to have the idea of the kind of what you listen to. Just he needs to be able to listen to it before he condemns or judges.
exactly, exactly. You know, and you came to realize, you know, after listening to a couple of songs, to say, oh, okay, this guy is actually not
It's not
bad.
that
You know,
bad.
I understand what he's
Hmm.
fighting for.
Oh.
And I was like, you see, you guys are actually the same, just using different.
Yeah, they were doing the same work, using their music to send a message to the people. Yes.
Exactly. But he still heavily condemned that he was swearing the whole time.
That is a
So,
father. I control what my son exposes himself to because I'm worried about what he might learn from those type of videos. Yes, it's very concerning for most parents. You see, yeah.
yeah.
Yes, you wrote about. Oh, you wrote one song, "Is the Pain." Yeah, I listened
Yes, sir.
to that song, "Is the Pain," and what was the music about? What were you trying to send to the people?
Yeah, is the pain. Look, I wrote that song. I think it was a very dark time in my life
Hmm.
when I wrote that, and I wanted to get things off my chest.
Okay.
You know, harboring those feelings was not the best way to go about things. You know,
Okay.
and I think, with ease the pain, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
I needed my pain to be eased, and for that to happen, it was about me speaking out,
Okay.
letting all that emotion out, and there was no better way to do it than on a song,
Okay.
so if you listen to that song, you'll see that I'm just rapping, and I'm just letting it all out.
Uh, uh,
But it was about easing the pain, not necessarily that of myself,
okay.
but I think all his fans needed their pain to be eased.
Is
You know what
is.
I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I read a comment from one of your fans there. It says, "This is not reggae. Listen to your dad's songs keenly." I also see your response saying that your father always said that you can change the style of playing reggae, but never change the message. It looks like people are expecting so much from you as the son of Lucky Dube. They want you to be your father. So what can you tell these people?
Yeah. Look, I can certainly understand why a lot of people would say, yes, go ahead and do exactly what your father was doing.
Hmm.
But I think that's a way for them to sort of replace my father
Hmm.
in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think for me, I've come to understand that you can never replace someone. You
True.
know what I mean?
True.
And there is no chance of me trying to replace him. You know, um, I think you need to be great at your own thing.
Hmm.
Yes, I unfortunately or fortunately I have that influence. I won't let go of reggae. You know,
Hmm.
but let me convey the message in my way. And just following up on what my father said as well. I can
Yeah.
change the style, and I can still deliver the message. And just on that point as well of changing the style, if you listen to my dad's style of reggae, and you listen
Hmm.
to a Bob Marley, and you listen to a Peter Tosh, and you listen to a Bunny Wailer, and you listen to whoever you want to listen to, his music is different,
Yeah.
to the extent that some people actually don't consider it reggae. Some people are like, you're not really doing reggae, but that's music, right? Yes, you like a style, you take it and you say, okay, this is nice,
But
I like this.
you modify it.
You modify it and you personalize,
Yeah.
right? And how he personalized it was bringing in music that he listened to, music he
Hmm.
grew up on, music that he was doing before. So you'll always hear, the Mbaqanga element
Hmm.
behind that reggae. You'll always hear some sort of ballads. Obviously, now as his career progressed, you'll hear some ballads in there. You'll
Yeah.
hear a bit of rock if you actually listen carefully. So for me, it's more about the message as opposed to the
Hmm.
style that it's being done in, and it just so happens to correlate with what my father was saying as well. So I'm not too worried, and I do believe that there is a space for my music. There will be people that will be able to relate a lot to my music. Just given that perhaps some of the music styles that they also listen to.
Sure. Yeah.
But obviously there will always be reggae. There will always be singing as well in my music. But yeah, we should just appreciate the creativity of bringing another genre into another genre.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I can't take this out of my head, TK. I'm trying to bring you back to that particular question that you dodged just now. I'm still interested about the song you wrote with your father. What was the title? Okay, just tell me the title. Let me take that away.
No, I won't. I won't do that.
Yeah, because you see, I really want to know what is. It's a marvelous thing to know that this you can tell the people that this is the song, the first song I wrote. I deal with my father, Lucky Dube. You see, this is why I'm so interested in that.
So I'll just give you a hint.
Okay.
If you listen to the album Respect,
okay,
on that album he did a song, and he did something on it that he's never done.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, I think it would be track 7. Listen to track 7, and listen to the style that he delivered on his chorus, and then tell me if that is the standard Lucky Dube that you guys know from before.
Okay.
Listen to that style, and then you'll know where the influence came from.
You just gave me a hint to that. A hint tonight.
That's not even a hint. That's direct.
Yeah, you just said your father he incorporated your song into his music. So and that is a great thing. I'm sure that when you're listening to that particular song, you say, yes, that is me and my father. It's a memory, isn't it? Yeah.
Of course. Just to know that he took, some of my things and sort of, played with the idea and said, oh, okay, all right, let's we can work this now.
That's good. That's good.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So tell me, TK, how was life without Lucky Dube? Because I understand that for the first 11 years of your life, he wasn't in your life. How hard was it during the period?
Look, I won't say he wasn't in my life totally, but to be honest, I think my mom did a pretty good job.
Okay, that's good.
So it's not like I was left wanting, or I needed help from whoever or whatever. Okay. I was fine. I was fine. It was actually I think when you grow up and you there's nothing to compare what you have now with anything else, because that's all you know. You can't really complain because this is all I know.
True.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it wasn't much of an issue. It wasn't a problem at all. I think it actually worked out quite well for me. But obviously, once we got united and everything was fine, you could see what you could have had, or what
had before. Yeah,
you missed out on, in terms of just growing up and having that father figure in your life. You know what I mean? But I mean, besides that, to be honest, it was fine. I think my mom did an awesome job.
Yeah, that's good. So what led to the decision to reunite you with your father? What led to that decision at 11? Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was my decision. It was his decision, Him and my mom, they for whatever reason, probably was just starting out to be a boy now, how boys are growing up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
your mom said,
that control was
your mom would say, I need your help now. This guy is becoming too stubborn. So it's time for you to step in.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd never know their reason.
Yeah. Your father, when you returned to him, He felt very bad. He felt very sorry for the entire situation. Then he wrote a particular song, "Son, I am sorry." I understand that that song was for you, particularly. How true is that?
Look, I think what he did there was he took something that was close to his heart. He took something that was happening in his life,
Hmm.
and he shared that with the world because it's relatable to a lot of people. There are a lot of people that grow up without their fathers,
So,
and it's not necessarily the child's fault, but it's
hmm.
whatever the parents had a quarrel or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's hardly the child's fault. So
yeah,
I
true.
think for him, it was really important for him to come out with a song like that, uh, because it relates to
To many
such a
people,
large
yeah,
number
yeah,
of people
yeah.
in the world. So yeah, it was a very touching song. And if you just listen to the lyrics, I think
Yeah, I did.
anyone.
I did. I see him apologize and saying he had a issue with your mom, and the best solution was to divorce, and you didn't have
Yeah,
to suffer for it. And he said, "Son, I am sorry." Well,
yeah,
that song is touching. It's very touching, to be frank with you. For him to go that length to try to say, "Son, I'm deeply sorry for not being in your life for 11 years." I know at that age, you wouldn't even know what was going on. Other people would have related to that song better than you at 11. You don't care. So when you grew up and you listen to that song again, if you had known at that time, what would you have told your father?
Gee, I have no idea. I've actually never thought of that, But I think what stands out for me on that song, is the apology. Uh, what I mean? I think it takes a real man to man up and say, okay, um, we messed up or I messed up and I
Mm,
apologize.
take the blame. Yeah,
And to apologize to your son
yeah,
or your daughter
yeah.
uh, is something that's wow. A lot of parents don't do that.
No, so
A lot of parents, it's I'm always right. I'm the parent. I'm older. I know what I'm doing or whatever, and they'll never apologize for the things that they do. But just to show the type of man that he was, to humble himself and say, look, things didn't go as planned. I'm sorry.
yeah,
For me, that's a real man.
that was good. That was good. I'm sure you would have given him a big hug if he
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, of course, of course.
yeah, because it song is touchy. So you said your
Yeah,
father was he loved education. He wanted you to go for it, and unfortunately, at the time you graduated in 2008, your father was already gone. So
yeah.
how did you feel about his absence in your life during that time after he played a very huge part in achieving that degree?
Yeah, it was I don't know. I to some level I felt that graduating at that time was pointless.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I think my number one supporter
Yeah.
into going and doing IT, into saying, TK, listen, look at the world around you.
Hmm.
Everything is going towards IT. You need to
Hmm.
do something in IT, you know. And
Hmm.
for me to get to that point, he pulled out my report cards from my whole high school,
Hmm.
and he says, okay, here's your report card. What's your highest mark? IT.
Yeah.
What's your highest mark? IT. So he made me realize, and then it's like, now look at the world. Where's the world moving? Everything is moving to digital,
Hmm.
So you need to make sure that you are part of this revolution, you know, and to graduate and not have the person that supported me,
Your
that
best
pushed
fan.
me,
Yeah.
exactly into
Hmm.
getting me into that. It was I really felt useless. It felt really useless to do that. But I think I said a short prayer and really thanked him because who knows where I would have been if it wasn't
Been
for
for
him. And
him.
first,
Yeah.
you know. Obviously, after that, I've graduated several other times, but there's nothing like that first graduation, you know, that
True.
first taste of success, of victory. You know, so
But
I
that
would have really wished it was then.
but that speaks to the kind of person you are too. Some people, they would have just withdrawn from school after the death of their father. It's like, I can't cope. My father was the one that wanted me to have this. He's gone. I cannot do this without him. Some people would have been very destructive. They would have withdrawn from the school, but you didn't. What kept you going?
Yeah. So look, you know, the fact that he would explain things. You know, he wouldn't just say, "TK, go to school.
I'm your father. Do it.
I'm your father. Do it." No,
Yeah.
it wasn't like that, because then that doesn't make sense, because then I'm just going to school just to please you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact that he was able to sit you down and say, you know, just the example I gave, he showed me my reports, and, you know, which showed me which direction to go. I had to go to IT because I already had the good marks in high school. You know, he showed me the world. He said, "TK, look at the world. Where is the world going?" You know, and you see, it's IT, you know. So for me, it was like, it made sense. It's like, it's a no-brainer, you know. You're going in IT, the world is moving to IT. You have an opportunity here where you can go to IT and be able to do something that it went beyond now doing it for my father, you know, which would explain why I went on to do masters, honors, and so forth. You know, it was no longer about for my father. It's not for my father, you know. And he would say it plain, you know, to say, look, going to get an education, you are not doing it for me as your parent. I'm fine. I've lived my life. I'm successful where I'm successful. You need to do this for you. It's for your sustainability, for your life, not for me. You know. So I think those kind of words, you know, they keep playing in your mind to say, if I quit, if I stop school, then what?
Yeah.
What about my life? What happens then? You know. So for me, you know, that type of encouragement, that explanation, that stayed with me, you know, which has helped me push through.
Yeah, that is good, because his parental style was different. Like you said, most parents would have just said, I said, go to school, I'm your father, do what I say. But you said he sat you down, he explained every reason why he wanted to do a certain thing. It's not for him, it's for your own protection and future. And that is the method most parents, or every parent, should try to adopt, because it's the miscommunication that leads to disobedience and all that stuff. That is a take home for I'm sure by the time it will be released to our viewers, there is the take home for our viewers who are parents, to always use that style to communicate to their children. Let's talk about your father's legacy. What do you think is Lucky Dube's legacy?
Geez, you know, legacy. I think legacy is always misrepresented in publications, papers, Facebook, whatever. You know, but I think for me, his legacy really lies in the messages that he left in his music.
Okay.
I'll repeat that. His legacy lies in the message that he left in his music.
In his music.
And I'll tell you why. If you look at everything that's going on in the world right now, I can bet you that you can look up a Lucky Dube song and you will find a song that relates to the current situation.
That is why,
Right.
that is why his former contractor, Mark Miller, said the music was going to live beyond Lucky Dube. He made that statement at
The music will live beyond Lucky Dube the person.
Yeah.
It will live beyond us, his children. The music will continue. You know,
it will outlive everyone, even to children that are not born yet. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and I think the nice thing was that his music was so simple to understand. It was so simple to understand. It's not a lot of big words no,
slangs.
it's simple,
No,
basic English that a child, excuse me, that
can
a
relate
child
with.
can relate with, can understand.
Yeah.
And for me, that is, a very huge part of his legacy.
That is very good. I'm glad you feel that way. Yeah. You did the degree in information technology, so yeah,
Yes.
that's a big one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a,
It's a big one, certainly.
yeah. So
But
where do you
I've always
yeah where do you think you rely on most now? Is it on your education or on music? How would you say? What path are you actually taking?
yeah, it's that's a tricky question. Uh, that's a tricky question. So I think I don't see that there's a need to choose. I think I'm fortunate in the spheres that I am in. That I am actually able to do both.
Okay.
Which is always important for me. On one side, my father's legacy is very important, and making sure that everyone always knows that there was this awesome guy who delivered beautiful messages in his music. For me to keep that going, to ensure that people know that, and to spread that message as wide as possible is very important to me. And unfortunately, I also can't block my artistic persona. It just doesn't happen. You can't do it. It's like asking a football player to stop playing soccer. What are you saying they must do?
True.
So there's no way I would ever stop the music, But at the same time, just growing up, I think one of the things that led my father to push me towards IT, was that I used to break his computers quite a lot. By the way, I used to just
Really?
mess about his computers. Yeah. Actually got into big trouble for breaking his laptop that he had just come back from America with, and
You
and
were practicing.
exactly, I was practicing, and yeah, I got into
It begins at home. The practice begins at home. So you have to
exactly.
use his valuable computers as your point of learning.
Exactly. So yeah, but I would never leave both. I would never leave either of them, because I absolutely love the corporate world.
Okay.
The corporate world, besides just the normal IT programming, managing projects, and all of that. It's so much more. It teaches you about business. And I think I did mention that I am currently doing my master's in business administration.
Oh, yeah, because I know
So
you do have a honors degree in information technology management. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I've got a lot. We can go counting. We'll never finish.
Your father must be very proud.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so, because it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. I think working and doing a degree at the same time, at the level that I'm doing my degrees in now, is very difficult and challenging. So I would hope that he is very proud.
Very good. Among all your father's children, who do you think is likely to follow the close footsteps of your father?
What do you mean by close footsteps? Are you talking in terms of doing his music?
Yeah, everyone loves music. Yeah, everyone loves. Yeah, your father's children, many of them. I could say all of them love music. I understand that you mentioned one of your sister's name just now. Yeah, they sing as well. They write. Yeah. So you have two paths two choices. So you could decide to be a corporate man, or you could decide to just jump into the music world, right? So now, other of your siblings, so there are some who 100% are into music, or are they all like you? That's I want to know which one is focusing on purely music, and or those that are also sharing their options.
Yeah, if you look at Nguli, for example,
Yeah.
right? Nguli is 100% music,
Okay.
But having said that, she's also got degrees,
Oh.
So she does the music because she loves the music, and she's very passionate about music. But she's also got degrees. She's also educated. You look at Bongi. Bongi as well loves music, does music, is excellent in music. But she's also got degrees. I think it just comes to that point of saying, where do I really want to invest my full-time energy into?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, unlike me, where I do a lot of music, where I'm escaping from stuff. I need to get stuff off my chest, off my head. For them, that's a daily thing. That's what they live. But they're also very educated. They've also got degrees.
That's good. Like I brought the name Mac Miller earlier. So Mac Miller has said Kunle will carry the torch for Lucky Dube's family. So he seems to be. That's why I asked you that question, because the man seems to be having more reliability on Kunle as close to Lucky Dube, your father. That was why I asked you the question. So would you say Kunle is probably going to be the one that is going to be very close to your father's footstep music, because it's not a crime to be bigger, larger in the music industry than your father. So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with Nkuli, she has really upped her game. She's really pushed the music agenda very strongly.
Okay.
But I think it's I don't want to say. I think it would be a bit unfair to sort of compare her to my dad. She's got her own style as well. She's pushing reggae very strong, very awesome artist. And yes, she certainly does shine the torch, because she's also fully focused in the music. You know what I mean? So you will see a lot of Nkuli on your screens. I mean, you go to YouTube, there's a lot.
That's good. That's good.
So,
in 2010, you brought up a certain company called Colors, Different Colors Production. So to manage,
who's doing your research, my guy?
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that to the table. So to manage your father's old band, yeah. So how is the band going?
So in 2010, you are quite accurate, quite correct. I created my company, Different Colors Productions.
Yes.
And that was certainly to continue the legacy of my father. And I think the first thing that came to mind was, let me bring his band together. These guys have so much experience, a wealth of knowledge, not only in the music, but just life as well, because these are people that traveled with my father. These are the people that were in studio with my father when I was in school, for example. So they've got so much to share and so much to teach me as an artist, and it only made sense that I learned from the people that were with my father.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so we did that. I pulled them into the company, and the band is doing okay. The Lucky Dube band, and we're doing good. We're doing good. Obviously these COVID times are a bit crazy, but other than that, we're certainly doing okay.
Very, very good. Yeah, yeah. So who is leading the band at the moment? You managing it, of course. You open it. So who's leading it? Who is it? You leading it. You're the vocalist.
I'm the
Yeah.
vocalist. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That leads me to my next question because I listened to the Lucky Dube band celebrate his life. Yeah. So yeah, the music is a bit popular on YouTube. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So who put that particular issue together? Because I understand there was a little fracas within the band at the time.
There was
A little misunderstanding, a little fallout between
oh,
members
okay.
of the band and you and other people. Yeah, so let's first of
Yeah.
all talk about the music, the live to celebrate his life. So
Yeah.
yeah, how did that go?
I mean, I think every band has its issues. You
True.
know, I mean, even if you go back and you look at my dad's band from 20 years ago, 30 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, you know, you would see that different people keep coming in, different people keep
Keep
leaving.
living,
You know,
yeah.
that is the nature of any band,
True.
any band, you
Mm.
know. So I don't think it was something that was quite unique to the Lucky Dube band, you know, and you know, bringing that project, we actually decided to work with a guy from Nigeria,
Okay.
Ben, and I think we did a great job on that album. You
Okay.
know, it's unfortunate that we did have you know our fallout, but that's the nature of bands, you know,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the idea behind the whole project was to get the band to put together the songs, because you know usually that would have been my father that puts together
It's fine.
those songs,
Yeah.
because those were his songs, you know. And we thought it would be a nice idea for everyone to sort of get a voice, you know, and really speak out to you know on the music, you
Yeah.
know, and yeah. So
That's
the
good.
band wrote all those songs, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the song, that particular song, I'm going to bring it back again. The particular song, The Celebrity's Life, is a wonderful song. I listened to it. It has every touch of your father in it. It looks like it's like I was listening to your father's music again. Because, frankly speaking, I'm a huge fan of your father. I want to put that one out there. I'm a huge fan of him because I listen to his music. I remember I'm about a bathroom singer. Are you a bathroom singer? I'm a bathroom singer. The person that's in the bathroom. Okay, so he was. I always sing some of his song when I'm in the bathroom back in the days. Yeah, he made my day back in the bathroom. Don't worry about that. But when I'm listening to this particular song of his, I hear a certain voice that looks exactly like your father. Your father has this tiny tone. Sometimes I can't get there every time I feel like I want to tear my throat. So your father got that tiny voice. So I heard it in that song. So I'm about to ask, who is that person? Because I also understand, I mean, before you answer that, I understand that the misunderstanding I was trying to refer to just now, someone, Ben, you mentioned, and claimed that he was the one that was singing, that you dropped his voice. So let's clear that one out.
Yeah. You know, it's always yes, like I said, we worked with Ben on that album, and I don't think it's a secret, you know,
Okay, okay.
and I think I've also clearly stated that, you know, but you know, with that misunderstanding, which obviously I will not get into. But you know, yes, we worked with Ben on that album. It's no secret; everyone knows, and I think I've clearly stated this multiple times.
Okay.
But you know, to avoid any illegalities, you know, when you're working with someone, and you know, there's music involved, there's rights involved, there's this
Mm,
and that. You know,
mm.
you sort of try to run away from the legality. So I'm just trying to get some data when I'm speaking to you. But yeah, so you know, we worked with them, and yeah, unfortunately, that was that.
Okay. Now let's say, let's just go straight to the question. Was that his voice in the song? Because he said you dropped it. That was his song.
Yeah, that was his voice, not his song.
That was his voice.
Not his song, yes.
Okay, yes. Now, thank you for clearing that out. That is his voice, not his song. But he wasn't there for the video, so someone has to be in his place, and that's how you stepped in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. So now, my last question, or second to the last, because we've been at this for quite some time now, is so what is the message you have for your fans out there, those people that are saying, we want you to be Lucky Dube? What is your message to all of them?
So, geez, that's a tough question. Why didn't you ask me this question at the start?
Yeah, now that we've ironed everything now, we've talked to them about everything now. What would you like to tell them? Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just saying that, continue listening to Lucky Dube music.
Okay.
I really think that's a strong legacy that he left for all of us.
Okay.
Look, continue supporting us as the family. We're all in music. TK Dube. I mean, you can YouTube me. I've got a YouTube channel. Okay. At TK Dube. You can follow me on social media, Facebook.
Don't worry. I've checked all your social medias. Don't worry. That's how do you think I'm getting all the questions I'm asking you? So yeah.
Yeah. Listen to Nkuli Dube, awesome artist. Follow her as well on her platforms, Instagram, Bongi Dube. Just follow us. There's big things coming. Okay. And I think that's what I'd like to say. And stay safe right now. And I know you guys haven't seen this yet, but
what is that?
This is an award, sir. But
is that for 2009?
No, this is 2020. This is
2020. That so? Because I know you took one on behalf of your father in 2009. Yeah, but what was this award for that?
So this one was for best artist of all time, greatest artist, not best, greatest artist of all time that we got in the South African Traditional Music Awards. Okay. So yeah, I hope you can see that's 2020 there.
Yes, it's very recent. Yeah. What was that? Is that in honor of your father or is that in honor of your father or to you?
Yeah, so that's in honor of my father.
Okay.
That's
it's still coming in. That's how many years after?
Geez, they keep coming in these awards.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. That's why we said your father left a message. So people are still listening. Yeah. That's what he's saying. How about his royalties? How is that going?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, if you own your music, I think any artist knows you should try own as much of your music and register with the relevant bodies. Yeah. And so that's
your father's his royalties coming to his family. So yeah.
Of course, they go to his family. Yes, they go to his family.
Very good. Very good. TK Dube, thank you for spending time with us this afternoon. We appreciate your time. And I'm very happy today that many of our readers and listeners will be happy to hear from you. This video will be posted as soon as we are done with it and on YouTube and other social medias. And I hope we'll be able to invite you next time.
All right. No, not a problem. Thank you very much for spending the afternoon.
You're welcome. You have a lovely Saturday. Take care.
Blessed.
Blessed.